Do not buy another car until you've learned the entire buying process. Having bought and sold countless cars, I've mastered the art. So, in this video, I'm going to reveal the process of navigating a car title, dark secrets to save hundreds of dollars, and how to handle payments. Let's start with why cash is king. Nearly everyone prefers cash because of its many benefits. It's untraceable, can be used immediately, and is free from fees and chargebacks. However, when paying a seller, be flexible and use any payment method they prefer, whether it's cash, a bank transfer, wire, cashier's check, or through a payment app. I'm going to explain how a typical title transfer works, but before we dive into that, there are two key questions you should ask before signing a title. First, ask for any paperwork related to the car, such as insurance, smog, registration, and service records. While these aren't necessary, having them can be very useful. Additionally, ask if they have any spare parts for the car. I've received sets of wheels, oil filters, fluids, and various parts that I've sold for over $1,000. Next, there's only two essentials. Nothing else is needed except for the car and the title. And never buy a car without a title. There's three crucial points to remember. First, remember that once the title is signed, the car becomes your responsibility. Any problems you miss during the inspection are now on you. Another important aspect is most states require a smog check done by the previous owner within the last 90 days to transfer the title into your name. If this hasn't been completed, you can still purchase the car, but you'll need to get a smog check yourself, usually costing around $50. Additionally, check the car's registration. If it's expired, you'll need to pay the fees to get it up to date. Then, I always ask to match their license to the title to confirm that the name matches. You can also take a picture of it next to the title as a safety precaution. So, now that you have the title, before signing it, there's three key things to check. First, look in the upper right corner to verify the title status. A clean title will have nothing written in the box, while a salvage title will say salvaged. Next, skip to the bottom of the title to check for lien holders. Most cars will have nothing here, but if there is a lien, it'll be shown on the left-hand side of this section. If the lien's been paid off, the right side should be stamped or signed. To confirm, you can contact the lien holder or the DMV. Also, beware of fake titles. How can you tell if a car title's fake? First, verify that the VIN and the license plate number on the title matches the car. Here's an example of a fake title I received next to a real title. They are practically identical in real life. To confirm a title's legitimacy, you're supposed to look for the Bears watermark when held up to the light. Although the fake title I got shows the watermark. The only difference I could see is the text is slightly more crisp on the real title. The only way to be absolutely sure that a title is real is by checking with the DMV. Once they take out the title, watch them date and sign it in these two places. You can now hand them the money and they will hand you the title so you can sign it. Date and sign it here and write out the mileage. This is what a completed title looks like. The back side of the title is to be done by you later on, and if the title has a release of liability form, tear it off and put your information here and give it to the seller to give to the DMV to release their liability in the car. The transfer is complete when you have the title signed by the seller and the keys to the car in your hand, and the seller has the money. Additionally, it's good to sign a bill of sale. This is like a receipt and it shows proof of purchase. Now let's discuss some methods to cut costs and simplify the process. Do note that while these are used by many people, they are not legal. On the back of the title, whatever you write in purchase price, you'll be taxed for. Many people list a lower amount to reduce their tax liability, usually around $1,000. You do need current registration and insurance to legally drive a car home. If the car doesn't have current registration, you can get temporary registration from the DMV. However, this is an annoying process, so many people skip it and drive home, hoping to not get pulled over. Another trick people use is to ask the seller to leave the date blank on the title. This gives you flexibility to start the DMV process without rushing. Then, you can write in the date when you're ready to begin the process. The DMV gives you 10 days from the date of sale before it's late, but there's no fees until after 30 days. You can also leave the mileage section blank. This way, if you drive the car for a while before transferring the title, you can write in the mileage when you're ready to put it in your name. Another option is to not sign the title yourself and tell the seller that you'll do it later. This allows you to put the car in someone else's name if needed. Ideally, by implementing all these tricks, you will have a title that's signed in the two required spots by the seller and nothing else written on it. Then, you can fill out what you need to make it work for your scenario. Car flippers often use these methods, as most of them title float. But what is title floating and why do car flippers use it? Title floating is when you transfer a vehicle's title from one person to another without putting it in your name. This saves both money and time. Essentially, you take the car and the title from the person you bought it from and pass it directly to the person you're selling it to. With the title only having the original owner's signature, you can add the date and mileage for the next buyer. Now, for some extra tips that can help you throughout the process, using a third party for DMV services like title transfers is worth it. I use AAA. A normal DMV visit can take hours, while third parties are much quicker. If you're a car flipper or looking for your next car, it's good to have cash set aside. It helps when the bank is closed and you need to secure a deal by buying a car right away. When buying a car, there's a few ways to get it back home. My favorite is to have a friend drive with you so you each can drive a car home. If you don't have anyone to go with you, take an Uber or drive over to check out the car, then come back later to pick up the car. Another option is to tow the car. You can use a local tow company or use a personal trailer or rent one. Always account for fees in your budget like title transfer fees, registration, and taxes. These usually cost under $300, but vary with each car. Also, you should get a Carfax report on the car to make sure nothing's wrong with the car and know the vehicle's history. So now, you know exactly how to review and sign a title, along with the important steps to follow when buying a car, as well as the ways people will work around certain steps to save on money.